This is Tim Bryce with my column entitled, Long Live the Fax Machine. As a small businessman, I haven't had to use a fax machine in quite some time. Like most people these days, I rely primarily on email. If I have a lengthy document, I convert it to a PDF file and attach it to the email. Many years ago, we relied heavily on fax machines to communicate with customers overseas, and Twix machines before that. But in recent times, we have little use for such devices. We keep a fax machine in the office for just-in-case situations, but we mostly leave it unplugged to avoid the many spam faxes still plaguing the public. I'm also able to interface with other systems to upload/download data in a variety of file formats, with the limited ASCII being the most prevalent. I recently visited my doctor for a routine checkup. We've known each other for years, and I'm always fascinated by the latest medical technology in his practice. His office consisted of a modest-sized staff with the typical number and type of computers you would expect to support administrative needs. Interestingly, I noticed he had a fax machine, which was slowly chugging away and spitting out voluminous reports. Frankly, I was surprised to see a fax machine being so actively used. Certainly he transmitted or received data by email or some other computer protocol, I thought. Actually, no. Although physicians have abundant computer software available to them for communication purposes, it is not as actively used as the fax machine, which is the true workhorse of their office. The doctor claimed his office received, on the average, 18,000 faxes each year. This does not include sending documents, which is probably just as voluminous. Patient records, test results, prescriptions, hospital reports, etc. are all regularly sent by fax and no other device. This means the data has to be rekeyed into the doctor's computers by his staff. It doesn't take a systems man like me to realize this is not an efficient or cost-effective approach for operating any office. Frankly, I was thunderstruck just how primitive the office systems were, and this was just one office. As I was to learn, most doctors operate in the same manner, thereby representing a model of system dysfunctionality on a colossal scale. A mandate from the federal government a few years ago requires doctors to digitize all of their medical records. This means every medical institution in this country has been busy entering data about all of their patients, a Herculean task which the medical community is currently embroiled in. To accomplish this, a variety of medical software packages have been introduced with little or no compatibility between them. This means your medical records with your general practitioner cannot be read by another doctor, unless he happens to use the same medical record software, which would be a very remote coincidence. There are, of course, strict privacy issues concerning the exchange of patient records. Regardless, assuming consent is given by the patient, there is no easy way to electronically exchange data. Blame for this incompatibility falls squarely on the shoulders of the federal government, who has not devised a standard file format for exchanging data. They may have mandated all doctors digitize their patient records, but they never devised a means for exchanging data. This incompatibility issue is so glaring you have to suspect it is premeditated. Now, consider the enormity of this problem. There are over 830,000 physicians in this country, all of which are busily digitizing patient records, none of which can be exchanged electronically with other doctors. So how do they communicate? Well, you guessed it, by fax. It also means all of these doctors and their staffs have to work double time to record patient data as transmitted by fax. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Let's take it a step further. Assuming my friend's office annual workload of 18,000 faxes is an average, and considering there are over 830,000 doctors, this translates into over 15 trillion pieces of paper being printed each year by physicians alone, not counting hospitals. This isn't exactly environmentally friendly, but certainly supports the bottom line of paper companies. This system snafu places a significant burden on doctors and inhibits their ability to practice medicine and care for their patients. Not surprising, a mutiny is in the offing. Tired of growing governmental bureaucracy, many physicians are opting to retire early or quit their practices outright, thereby creating a shortage of competent doctors. My visit to my doctor's office taught me a couple of things. First, the fax machine is the Achilles heel of any physician's office. Without it, the doctor is lost. Second, this need not be the case if the federal government would just devise some simple standards for data exchange. However, knowing the government, I don't think I'll hold my breath. I'm quite confident doctors will go on killing trees for many years to come. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida.